Paris Saint-Germain Inter is the final of Champions League that will be played on the 31st of May in Munich. Juventus is not there, but today I want to speak about ourselves. I want to speak about Juventus, I want to speak about our future, especially after the recent days, the bomba that came out, that Juventus is again thinking about a big shake-up. Enough is the message of John Elkann about the property, about the ownership. We change from management to possibly also the bench and also some players. We have a lot of things to speak about in today's video. Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. I hope you are all doing well. Today it's Thursday, and I'm asking you your support. I'm asking you a maximum of likes. Don't forget to subscribe. Why all this support asked today? Because I need to understand that you're still there, that you didn't turn your back to the old lady, that you're still loving, that you're taking that flag and you're waving it there high in the air with a lot of pride. I understand it's a tough moment. I really understand. In recent days, we spoke too much about the other teams. Way too much and not enough about ourselves. And we know it. When we are speaking more about the other ones than about ourselves, we have a big problem because it means that we are not there. And when I'm saying we are not there, it's physically and also as a metaphor. We are not there physically in the run for the Scudetto. We are not there physically in the Champions League final. And we are not there as a metaphor. We are not there. We are far away from what and where Juventus should be. I know that we spoke too much about Inter, we spoke too much about the other ones in recent days. I'm really sorry for that. I read your comments. You feel the same. I feel the same as you. We are with the knee on the ground. We don't see the end of that negative cycle and it hurts. We are all hurt because we don't know what is the future, what the future will look like. We don't know when Juventus will be back. Some people are even giving up. Will Juventus be back and when will it be? Will it be only on national level or also on international level? When will we win again a Champions League final? When we will be able to do a fantastic, beautiful performance that will lead us to a possible new trophy in Europe? I know all these questions. A lot of people are blaming a person. A lot of people are blaming a moment. I understand all that. It would be too little. It will not be enough to try to look for one moment or for one person. Look, we know it. Our anger is built every single day, even more when we are looking at the other ones. Jealousy is the reality. We are looking at Napoli that is fighting for the Scudetto after 1 year of Antonio Conte, legend of Juve. We are looking Inter that is competing to win a Champions League final, second final in 3 years with Giuseppe Marotta, ex-manager, CEO of Juve. We all know that we are looking there. We are saying they were at us. They were our people. And they are winning somewhere else. So we made a mistake. And yes, it's true, we made a mistake. A lot of people are indeed going with the key moment, Marotta. That's where it all went wrong from the moment that he has gone. And if you are looking at the paper only without taking care or understanding or needing to understand the moment, the context, I can tell you probably, yes, he's a fantastic manager. He's a fantastic manager because he understands football really well, but he's also a fantastic political guy, one that is able to go with relationship here, there, finding the best way to make sure that Inter is not punished, what he was not able to do when he was at Juve. So he gained also in experience, in political strength. Fantastic guy, absolutely yes. Nobody will hear me saying otherwise. On the other side, we are probably neglecting the context and also the weaknesses of Giuseppe Marotta. Pay attention. But that's not what I want to speak about in today's video. Today is not a video about Marotta. Today is not an answer to all the people that are blaming that moment, that are crying and that are actually missing Giuseppe Marotta, because that's not who I am. I'm not a person that is looking too much into the past. Yes, okay, we look at the past, we learn from it, but we forget. We think about the future. This has always been the philosophy of Juve. Even when we win, even when we won, you win, you celebrate, and immediately you're looking for the next victory. This is Juve. You remember that story of Sami Khedira that is winning the Scudetto and says, I don't want to go with the parade. I don't want to go and celebrate it. I'm already thinking about the next game. I'm already thinking about the next trophy to win. That has always been the mentality of Juve. And by coincidence, and maybe that's also why I am a Juventino, I don't cry about the past. The past is the past. We say thank you or we are angry for what happened. And then we think about the future. Yesterday, Luca Monblano, he went here on the channel, mini video. Thank you again for him to explain us what he heard, the rumors, where he said and he spoke about Cristiano Giuntoli. Cristiano Giuntoli with 6.46% possibilities to remain at Juve, extremely low. Yesterday, if you heard him, said he's gone. He's already gone. The decision has been taken by ownership that is wanting to turn the page, that is saying, yes, okay, Allegri, yes, okay, Thiago Motta, yes, okay, some players, but at a certain moment someone needs to pay. We are absolutely not satisfied with that. The only thing that I didn't ask, because it was a short video and because he will come back on the channel to tell us the next step, is what now? What now? After Cristiano Giuntoli, after Thiago Motta, a project that we all believed in, or at least the majority believed in. What about the future? Because that's what we need to look forward. If we want to stop thinking about the other ones, if we want to stop talking about the other teams that are doing well, objectively, because they deserve to win the Scudetto, they deserve to be in the final of Champions League, Napoli, Inter, well, we need to work on ourselves. That's the thing that we need to do. Thinking about ourselves. Working. We might be in a difficult moment, but never forget how big we are. And it's not a coincidence that today I'm going with this shirt, an old vintage shirt, because look how big the Scudetto is. Look how big the Coppa Italia is. Look how big that star is. That has always been Juventus. We are far away again from that moment, from these huge big patches on our sleeves. But we need to work with that objective, winning again. And how is Juventus Exor thinking to do it? A restructuring at the management level. I always told you here, when a lot of people were blaming Allegri as the only cause of Juventus' downfall, I told you no. It always starts with the top. It's the top that is not working, and then you have the coach, and then you have the players, then you have the fans, but it's all of them to be blamed. But first we need to think about the top, and Exor understood it. He put his face on it, he put his words on it, he even put it black on white, saying Cristiano Giuntoli is the man that we have chosen that will bring us back to where we belong. It failed. Let's be honest, at the moment it failed. A miracle could always happen, but at the moment, today, it failed. So a new structure, not only a one-on-one change, because that's what Juventus did as a mistake, giving probably too much power to one man only. It is Cristiano Giuntoli, could have been whoever. So we need to restructure with a few men. The first man that Juventus is thinking about is Massara. Massara that could take a really sporting role at Juve. Direttore Sportivo, sporting director, Massara. Massara with a huge experience in a lot of clubs. He's 56, so he's relatively young. It's one that was a manager at Palermo before going to Roma. He stayed there really long, from manager to sporting director. That's really where he started to go closer and closer to the field, and then going to Milan. In Milan in 2019 until 2023, winning the Scudetto, forming a fantastic duo with Maldini. Ask the Milan fans how much they are missing Maldini, Massara. Not a lot of a lot of time he has been linked to Juve before Cristiano Giuntoli. He was even one of the preferred one of Massimiliano Allegri. When they said, we are looking now for a new sporting director after Cherubini was not there. Well, one of the first choices of Max Allegri was Massara, because he knows the level, he knows really well. Well, at the moment, he's at Stade Rennais. So he took a bit of a break, 1 year of break. Now, since 2024, he's at Stade Rennais. He's one that is really humble. A humble man, calma, silent man, one that is working behind the scenes. He doesn't want to have that mega ego to go in front of the cameras to speak too much. No, silent, humble, born in Torino. When he was a player, actually started his youth academy adventure at Torino. So he's a player that understands the city extremely well. Never worked with Juve, but it's one that knows what it is, Torino. Like a bit Federico Gatti. The other one that Juventus is thinking about is Sartori. Not 1+1, of course, or Massara, or Sartori. Should I speak too much about Sartori? For the people that are following Serie A, they know Sartori, and not since today. Because Giovanni Sartori, that is now the sporting director, technical director, I don't know what's the right name, of Bologna, started his career as an assistant manager before becoming sporting director at Chievo. The Chievo of the miracle, letting them come in Serie A, qualifying to European competitions. Chievo, a fantastic Chievo. Well, the mastermind behind that project was Giovanni Sartori before going to Atalanta in 2014. Did you see what Atalanta did from that moment on? Yes, a lot of people will speak about Gasperini, but look who was behind the scenes. Giovanni Sartori. And if today Bologna is doing extremely well, not only it was because of Thiago Motta or Vincenzo Italiano, but especially behind the scenes, again, Giovanni Sartori. Will it be difficult to bring Giovanni Sartori to Juve? Absolutely yes. Absolutely yes. Massara, a bit more easier. One or the other are dreams of Juve for the rebuild, for the post Cristiano Giuntoli. But this time, not only one man like we did, because probably that's the biggest mistake that we did, but bringing back Tognozzi. Tognozzi, we spoke about him a lot of time. He went to try his own project at Granada in Spain. It didn't work, but before that has always taken care of the youth academy of Juve. He was the one that found players a la Kenan Yildiz, the mastermind behind Dean Huijsen. Tognozzi, that I remember when he was gone, a lot of these fantastic players, Mattias Soulé, etc., they were all really in shock, and they were all going on social media saying thank you for all you did for us. Tognozzi could possibly come back to Juve, also there a role for him after leaving for 1 or 2 years. And other names that could have a more sporting side at Juve are the twins Chiellini. Not only Giorgio Chiellini, that is already at Juve, but more taking part of the administrative part, but this time going a bit more with his face, taking care a bit more, giving advices on the sporting side and the experience he has. Also him being able to enter the locker room when he can, but also potentially a Claudio Chiellini that is the one that is taking care of the next gen project, and he's doing it fantastically well. What a hard working man. A Claudio Chiellini that could be potentially promoted, or at least having that hybrid role between the youth academy and the first team. So Juventus is really thinking about a few names to reinforce, not one man only, but a few names that are really strong. A Massara or a Sartori are really experienced guys that showed a lot in Serie A, in the club where they were. Tognozzi already proven records at Juve, and we are missing these kind of figures, especially because we need to build the next talents, because a lot of them are gone. So this summer, when we want to go on the transfer market, forget about selling big next-gen players for big money, because that's already gone. So we need to create new ones, and who better than a Tognozzi, and then the brothers Chiellini that could potentially taking care a bit more about that first team. We spoke about the management. Let's go towards the coach, towards the bench. We all hope that Igor Tudor is doing that fantastically well in the next upcoming games so that he can be renewed. I always said that if he's renewed, it means that we did well. We did well not only with the fourth spot in Serie A, but also at the Club World Cup. An Igor Tudor that sacrificed a lot of things to be on the bench, and knowing that he would have seen more negative sides than benefits for him. But he wanted to do it. Tudor is in the run. I saw beautiful articles about the conclave, about the next possible candidates for Juve. That's not what I want to speak about, because we know that if it's not Tudor, there is one name that is on top of the list of everyone, and it is the name of Antonio Conte. The only person that doesn't want him at the club is Cristiano Giuntoli, but the other ones, Antonio Conte, could be the favorite if, of course, he leaves Napoli. In recent days, we spoke about Højlund. I went quite harsh on the player, saying it's the player that I don't want. It's exactly what you should not do, going for a player that, what did he prove at today? He failed totally at Manchester United. In Serie A, he played like 6 months. Well, is that the player that we want for the post-Dusan Vlahovic? Are we certain about that? We need certainties instead of promises. But talking about and trying to find a logic, because there is always a logic, always. Even if we don't agree, even if we don't like, even if we cannot see the logic, there is always one. You know that a lot of people speaking about, or they couldn't give me an answer, but the one that gave me an answer were, pay attention, Beppe, because Højlund is a player that has been looked for by Napoli, has been specially requested by Antonio Conte. He's a player that he wants. It's the type of player that he believes in. Like a lot of time where he always asked for a Lukaku. Lukaku hated by everyone. At the end, he goes to Napoli, he went to Inter, and he's delivering with Antonio Conte. Look, Højlund, linked to Juve, the possibility or the possible explanation could be that it's really a special request from Antonio Conte. And if it's a request from Antonio Conte, who am I to say no? Is it the player that I want? No. Do I believe it's a mistake? Yes. But if it's Antonio Conte that is asking for Højlund, it makes sense. Pay attention, Antonio Conte to Juve is not a 100% done deal. It's not a certainty. And also, De Laurentiis understood it. And what is he doing, De Laurentiis? He's trying to convince Antonio to stay, not only with beautiful words or increasing salary, but with facts. One of the facts there is what we heard yesterday. The first time I read it, I didn't believe in it. But then the journalists are really starting to be serious. De Laurentiis wants to bring De Bruyne at Napoli, a 2 years of contract. Apparently, the wife of Kevin De Bruyne went already to the city of Napoli to visit a bit, to look a bit of apartments. So it's not that much of a joke. Let's not joke. And De Bruyne to Napoli could be a possibility. Lukaku connection. Dries Mertens that knows him really well. And probably De Bruyne, after all his years in UK, in Manchester, with all the respect, Napoli, Manchester, if you're looking at the city, about the quality of life, maybe De Bruyne is really thinking about it, and that could be a potential push to say, Antonio, stay. De Bruyne to Napoli, you will tell me, Beppe, disaster, what about us? Can we go? Because we are speaking more about selling players than buying players. We know it, The names that we heard, except of Højlund, are the names of Tonali, for example. Tonali will be tough, will be difficult, but Juventus wants to try to go and bring a Tonali to convince maybe the next coach that, the project is valid. It's not only youth, it's not only next-gen players, but we want to go and to really try to win that Scudetto, a Tonali. Another name that has been linked again to Juve is the name of Donnarumma. Did you see the performance of yesterday? Did you see the first performance in the game against Arsenal? Donnarumma is a goalkeeper that made a lot of mistakes, a lot of blunders, but mamma mia, he's in his peak. At the moment, he's in his peak. He is, at the moment, the best goalkeeper of the world. Well, Paris Saint-Germain has a contract with him for 1 more year. The salary is €7 million net plus 3 million of bonus. It's really a lot. It's really a lot. But Donnarumma, that was that close to join Juve, could maybe think about it again. Going back in Italy, Inter is also on him. They want to have him on free because they always go for free players. So they would love to wait 1 more year with Sommer and then to go to Donnarumma. Could Juventus anticipate the signing of Donnarumma? It could be, It could be. A player that at the moment is not extending with Paris Saint-Germain, Juventus would possibly be thinking to go for that player. Would you love Donnarumma at Juve? Let me know in the comment section. And then I want to speak about the next gen. And unfortunately, the journey to qualify to the second division, to Serie B, is over since yesterday, because yesterday they did 0-0 in the home of Crotone. We know the rules in the playoffs. In the first leg, when you are actually playing against the team, it's 1 game in the home of the team that was actually ranking higher than you. And then on top of that, if they finished higher, well, they have 2 results on 3. A win or a victory is good for them. If you lose, you're out. If you draw, you're out. And that's what happened yesterday after the 0-0. Why am I speaking about the next gen? Don't go away, because apparently there is a first draft of the list of the players that could join Juventus first team in USA to the Club World Cup. So it's actually not a friendly, a retiro, but it's already a possible beautiful window to test this player in a real competition. There are 6 players in that drafted list. Then it could change. Let's see. The moment 6 players. Daffara, Giovanni Daffara, goalkeeper. I already met him a few times. I already spoke with him in an interview. What a player. One of the key stars of the next gen players. Super. Daffara could join them. And pay attention for Daffara's future already from next year. Pay attention. Pay attention to Daffara's future. Another one that could join also in USA, Juventus, is Gil Pucce. One that is burning all the steps from the Primavera in the beginning of the season to a starter. With the next gen, could potentially join also Juventus there. And then we have 4 other players. We have Pietrelli that has already been called up with the first team. Never played at the moment, the number 99 that arrived in the winter mercato, Alessandro Pietrelli. For these 3 players, you already know them because we spoke a lot about them in recent videos. So 3 players from the next gen that could possibly join, but then we have 3 Primavera players that could join. And here maybe we need a bit more explanation. Alessio Vacca, second striker, 19 years old, could join Juventus. He's a second striker, 32 games in the Primavera tournament with 15 goals and 7 assists. The year of his career at the moment. He could join Juve. On top of that, the two Diego Ripani, beautiful defensive midfielders, maturity. If you watch that video that they made on the Creator Lab about Paolo Montero, you will find also Diego Ripani that spoke there. Fantastic player, beautiful player with a beautiful future up front. And then Diego Pugno, the forward player of the Primavera, also him 18 years old, so young player, 27 apps this season, 11 goals, 1 assist. Didn't start all the games, but it's a player with a beautiful future as well. Young player that has a lot of potentials. So these 6 players could join Juventus in USA. And also don't forget, from now on, especially with the next gen team that is now out of game because the season is officially over for them, Igor Tudor could call possibly some of these players to join the first team, especially because we have a lot of absences, a lot of injuries, where we'll speak about in the second video of today. If you enjoyed that video, and if you're still there, if you didn't give up, if you were here until the end, fino alla fine, please put a maximum of like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Grazie, forza, Juve.